The honey badger verse of the day today is very important for the world we live in, especially America, with all the corruption with politicians and government and briberies and people taking advantage of people in power due to money. And it's 2 Chronicles 19:9. And King Jehoshaphat said to the judges, serve the Lord faithfully and full-heartedly and fear the Lord. And that's what we need today is judges, politicians who fear God, who walk in obedience to God, and they don't act unjustly. They don't take bribe from companies and oppress us with more money that we have to pay in taxes due to their policies. And they see the poor, they see the outcasts as being important to God, as being part of the kingdom of God, and whatever they do for the least of these, they do for God. And in fact, the context of our verse today, King Jehoshaphat has a prophet come to him and says, do you hate the people? Do you hate God? And then he says, I see some good in you. The judges right now, they're corrupt. They're taking briberies. They're doing injustice to the widow. They're doing injustice to the people. And in response, King Jehoshaphat finds godly men. And he instructs them with the following orders. Serve the Lord with all your heart. Serve the Lord in the fear of the Lord. And that means having reverence. And he says the way you do this, quite simple. When you go and do a verdict, realize that God's there with you. And he said, have courage. There's going to be people who are going to come to you and try and deceive you and say, hey, here's some money. Do this for me. And in fact, Jesus told a parable of the unjust judge. And he said the judge neither feared God nor cared about people. And this is the very thing that Jehoshaphat in Judea addresses. He says you need to care about people. And you need to fear God. And when you fear God, you're going to see God in your life. And I want to encourage us, vote for people who are godly. Vote for people who have a desire to fear the Lord and walk obedience to Him. Psalms 128:1 says, blessed are those who fear the Lord and walk in obedience to Him. And when we see judges like that, when we see politicians like that, when the righteous thrive, you know what? We're going to rejoice. We're going to see taxes go down. We're going to see the poor and the oppressed cared for. And we're going to see God lifted up in our land.